Hey there, this is Andrew. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be taking some time to create a simple pour effect. This is a project I've wanted to work on for quite a while, ever since I made my simple liquid effect in a mug, I think almost 2 years ago. And this effect primarily revolves around using the line renderer. And we'll be writing a lot of code to manipulate both that start and that end point of the line renderer, as well as using a custom shader on it to sort of give it the appearance that it's flowing downward. And we'll also be using the particle for when the stream hits the ground to give it a little bit of a splash. And I've already set up a template project for this, and you'll find that in the description. It'll be on GitHub. And in the project, it'll have some animations, some materials, some prefabs, and all that good stuff, so you don't have to watch me do it. And while you're downloading that, I'm going to do my patron shoutouts. And I'd first like to thank Eric Spitrix, Jacquees Jubert, Soul Harvesting, Nick Jerinkins, Zavin Ati, Mezushina, Saishogen Visuals, Pierre Franson, Adrian Seto, Premerswal, Desarius, and Jean Noel Sonique. I'd then like to thank Matt Buendia, Stefan, Keith Bradner, Brian Stevenson, Darren Swords, Daff Ryder, Carson Human, Jesus Nahira, Peter Lestack, Ian Eklov, Zach Ellis, Travis Feartag, and Frederick H. And I'd like to thank them all for their current and continued support. Now hopefully that was enough time to get the project downloaded. Once you open it up, it should look something like this. If the version of Unity you're using is at least 2019.1.2, this should open without a problem. And the main scene consists of a simple camera, our bottle prefab, a directional light, and a plane. And on our bottle prefab, it has a script on it called pour detector, as well as a simple animation to tilt it. And then we have a simple empty object childed to the bottle that is called origin, and this is just so we know where we want our liquid to come out of. So our scene's pretty simple. If we go to our animation folder, it's just going to have that tilt animation. If we go to our materials, we just have some solid materials here. And then we have the two materials that we're actually going to be using for the effect, where we have this splash material that's just being used for our particle. It's very simple. It uses the sprite as well as the particle's material for a standard unlit. And then we have the material for our stream, which uses a custom shader. And this just lets us tile the texture that we're putting on it, as well as give it a tint and adjust the speed. And this gives it the effect that it's flowing downward. And then we'll go to our meshes folder, where we just have that bottle mesh. It's pretty simple, which I got from Quaternius. I'll put a link to his website in the description. There's a lot of great assets on his website, so if you're looking for any free assets, be sure to give it a look. And then for our prefabs, we just have a bottle, and then we have the stream prefab, which is going to be instantiated by the bottle when it's reached a particular tilt direction. But the stream prefab only has a stream script as well as our line renderer, and also that stream material. And then within our scripts folder, we just have those two scripts for our pour detector as well as our stream. We have that shader that I mentioned previously for our stream material. And then we have a texture for the gradient on our line renderer and the sprite for our particle effect. And we're going to be doing a little bit of programming in this video, so let's open up our pour detector script. And here we are within the pour detector script, where I think we're just going to try and do most of this in one shot. We won't be able to do it all because we'll need to access some functionality within the stream script, but that'll be for the next video. So let's start with our variables. We're going to need a public int that we're going to call pour threshold. And we're going to initialize that to 45. We're then going to need a variable for our origin transform. And then we'll need another for our stream prefab game object. And then we'll have two more booleans, one for keeping track of if we're pouring or not, and for keeping a reference to our current stream. And now we'll write out all the signatures for the functions we're going to need. We're going to need an update. We're going to have a function that we're going to be starting the pour from. And then we'll have another one for ending it. And then we'll have just two more functions here, one for calculating our pour angle and another one for creating the stream. We'll just call this calculate pour angle. And we'll return 0 for right now. And then our stream object. And we'll return null for now. We won't write anything in start pour or end pour because we'll just do this all at once we write the stream out. So we'll just write empty. So we just know that we're not going to deal with that just yet. And then with an update, the first thing that we're going to be doing is performing a pour check. So we're going to calculate our pour angle. We're going to compare it to our pour threshold. And then we need to see if we need to start or end the pour. So we'll say bool, we'll just say pour check. We'll call calculate pour angle. And if it's less than our pour threshold, and I forgot my parentheses there we go. And then the functionality within update for starting and ending the pour, naturally we don't want that to fire every single frame. So we only need to execute the functionality when our is pouring boolean changes. So we'll have an if statement here that says if is pouring is not equal to our pour check, then we want to execute this functionality within these curly braces. But the first thing that we would need to do is apply that new value to our is pouring variable. So for the next time we check it, it'll be accurate. And then once we've done that, we'll do a simple if else statement that says if is pouring, we'll start the pour, else we want to end the pour. And this is so when we're tilting the bottle and we create that stream and storing our reference to it, we'll know that, hey, we just need to update this object and not create a new one. And then once we end the pour, we'll clear that current stream, and then when the bottle is tilted again, we'll be creating a new one. So hopefully that all makes sense. And then we're just going to scroll down here to our calculate pour angle, which is actually a very simple function. And we'll do this by accessing the transform of the bottle by doing transform.forward.y. And typically you would use transform.up for this, but because of the mesh that I'm using, the forward is going to be up in this case. If you're going to be using another mesh, make sure that you're using the correct direction for this. But this is currently in a value of radians, but we want it in degrees. And we can do that by multiplying it by mathf, rad2degree. And this function will actually give us a value that we can work with an update to compare to our pour threshold. And we'll be able to see this later in Engine when we test this. But let's go down to create stream, where we're going to create a game object that we're going to call stream object. And we're going to be instantiate an instance of that stream prefab. And we'll be instantiating it at the origin with a rotation of 0. And we'll also be childing into the bottle itself. And then in return, instead of null, we'll just want to return that stream object. Well, actually, we'll want to return the stream component on it. So we'll want to call get component stream. There we go. And now we can scroll back up here. So we can create a simple print statement within our update so we can ensure that our start and end pour is working. And actually, I was going to put it here in update, but I think I've decided that we'll put it in start and end pour. So we'll just create a print start. We'll go down to end, print end. All right, and I think that actually does it for the programming that we're going to do in this video. We can actually test this in Engine to make sure that our start pour and our end pour is working correctly. But before we hit play, if we select our bottle, I currently have the gizmo selected to local, and if we look at this blue axis here, it corresponds with the Z, so the forward. Typically assets will have the Y in the up, but like I said before, this should be okay as long as you're not using a different asset for this. All right, so let's hit play and we'll see if this works. And there we go. Once the bottle tilts, it goes beyond the threshold and we get that start print. And then once it raises up again, it'll print that end statement. And that about does it for our pour detector. Thank you for following along. If you have any issues or questions or problems or any of those things, feel free to leave them below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.